Hello, my name is Rav-Noy. This is SixSense. Now, this is the demonstration video. If you haven't seen the previous one, I'd recommend you go check that out first. The link's down in the description. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the features. First, and one of my personal favorites, is the on and off switch. You turn the stove on when you want to start cooking and off when you're done. Now, what this allows you to do is, where on a standard stove, any child can open the gas by turning the knob. If a child were to do so on the SixSense, nothing would happen while the stove is off. Now, say you forget to turn the stove off when you're done cooking, not a problem. The stove will turn itself off 5 minutes following your completion of using the stove. So let's start cooking, right? So turn on the stove and turn the knob, but nothing's happening. That's because there's no pot on the stove. Using the distance sensor, it can detect whether the pot's on the stove or not. So now, just pot on the stove and turn on the flame. And there we go. So I could just adjust the flame. Over here we got the LEDs. They indicate how powerful the flame is. Now let's take a look at one of the features. So say you're done cooking and you take your pot off the stove and you go to do something else, but you forget to turn off the flame. Unfortunately, this happens way too often. So since it can detect whether the pot's on the stove, it'll give you about 2 minutes to return it before it shuts it off. Now, for demonstration purpose, I lowered it to only a couple seconds. So let's see how that works. And there we go. Now let's just give it a few seconds and it should turn off. And there you go. Turns off, alarm goes off. Now, let's take a look at the gas sensor over here. Now, sometimes when your water overflows or gets blown out for some reason, the fire goes out and gas is going into the air. Now, the gas sensor will detect that and then it'll shut the gas. So, since I don't want to blow off the flame and let gas into the air, I'm just going to use the pilot lighter over here, and I'm just going to put it in the gas sensor and I'm just going to feed some gas straight into it. So let's do that. And now I'm going to put it in. There you go. Okay. And now let's take a look at some of the stuff behind the stove. So this over here is the microcontroller. It's a simple Arduino, and it runs the whole thing. We got over here all the sensors and everything, and over here we got the shift registers. Those control the LEDs. We got down here, we got the box of just AA batteries that run through this electrolytic capacitor to power the whole stove. And over here we got a simple propane tank, like the type you take on those camping with you to power those like portable grills. And I mean, this thing could plug just straight into the gas line. Okay, now let's take a look at the front. And over here we got a simple knob I designed and 3D printed. It turns a little potentiometer in the back. Here we got the simple switch. Here we got the LCD to display the temperature. You just hit that to see the temperature. You can also power see in Celsius or Fahrenheit, and that powers the backlight. Over here we got the LED bar graph. The temperature sensor right here. This is the proximity sensor to detect the distance between the pot and the sensor. And over here we got the gas sensor. Now if we open the thing, you can see we got this is the valve right here that connects to the tube, which connects to the propane tank. And that's all powered by this high torque servo with this little piece that I 3D printed to connect it to the valve. And it runs through this little like canal type thing back and forth, like so. Okay. Oh, and also you can see right over here is the little circuit that powers the sensor. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the future. So I plan on putting a Wi-Fi module in it so it can easily connect to the internet. This would allow software updates to your stove, whereas on a standard stove you're stuck with the software you get when you purchase it. And it'll be able to notify you by your phone when an emergency happens. So instead of just setting off an alarm, it'll send a message to your phone, so you could even know about this when you're outside of the house. It'll also be able to communicate with the fire department. And you can just run simple cooking apps. So say you're playing with your kids and you want to make some pasta for lunch. So whereas you're constantly having to go check if the water's boiled, and then you got to put in pasta and keep coming on mixing it, and to check if it's ready. So since we know that water boils at a certain temperature, using the temperature sensor, it'll notify you when your water's boiled. You can then go add the pasta, and it'll notify you like every 5 minutes, every 3 minutes to come mix it. And since most pastas say on the box exactly how long it takes to cook, you just input that number into your phone, and it'll notify you when your pasta's finished cooking. So that's it. I plan on working on this project more. If you want to see where this is headed in the future of it, you could subscribe to be notifying. I'll be putting up some more videos in the future. So be sure to do that, and have a great day. Bye.